Cool, recording. Hey guys, Noah again. Recording the vlog video kind of late tonight. As I'm recording this, it is 12:54 a.m. So yeah, that whole sleeping thing's not going so well. I'm honestly starting to get a little concerned. The lack of sleep and insomnia is always a pretty good tell that I'm going to cycle. So knowing what Monday is, and knowing that I'm starting to show signs of restlessness and sleeplessness, it's one of those tells ahead of time. I know that I'm probably going to end up cycling soon. So the good news and bad news of that is it's probably not going to be super severe. I've been taking my medication. I'll miss a day here or there, but on the whole, I've been taking it regularly. So it probably won't be super severe. It'll probably last anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. One of the things I kind of wanted to update everybody on today is just kind of the accountability part of the vlog. The power of productivity didn't so much happen today. I wanted to get a bunch of my schoolwork done today, and that just didn't happen. There are some positives that I need to be aware of. I just got out of the shower, so my hair's still wet. There are some positives I need to be aware of, and not let myself get beat down by this one thing. I did call my mechanic this morning just to confirm everything with the car. So that was a positive. I hate phone calls. The other thing, I went to the grocery store and picked up some stuff for the house that we needed. Full disclosure, I picked up Seagram's wine coolers too. I usually don't finish like a 12-pack. I had one earlier today, and I'll probably have one tomorrow when I get home. I managed to start my boxing routine kind of back up again. I was getting really into it the semester before I went to college, and I had lost like 60 pounds on it in 6 months. So I'm trying to pick that routine back up and kind of kick the soda habit. One of the things I want to talk to everybody about today was identifying something greater than you to kind of help you get through cycles and hard times. Everyone who knows me pretty well knows I'm not super religious, and I've had friends in AA or NA who have told me that one of the big things is relinquishing kind of your individual power to, the power of, something higher than you, higher power that's power of the group. If you're religious, that would be God, the universe, what have you. So for me, I inherently am drawn to strictly ordered logical systems. It's just one of the reasons I like math so much. And for me, that helps. Being able to go to something that I know is strictly ordered, logical, and constant helps me a lot. I will, when I get overly stressed and I'm trying to deal with the situation, we'll go kind of get in my Zen mode with some math. Some people meditate, some people do yoga. I mean, I exercised, I guess, tonight. But for me, few things put me at as much mental and emotional ease as grinding out some numbers. And it doesn't always have to be difficult. I usually just kind of stick to calculus, pre-calculus style problems, which probably sounds intimidating for most people, but when you're a math major and you have to deal with, proof-based real analysis, complex analysis, linear algebra, differential equations. I enjoy differential equations. Vector calculus, multivariable calculus. I mean, Cal 1 is kind of the easy part. Today is kind of a mixed bag. There have been good parts and bad parts today. On the whole, I've been feeling very kind of wonky, kind of off kilter. I am aware of what Monday is, and it's already kind of starting to affect me. And like I said, the lack of sleep is making me concerned that I might be cycling soon. So today was a kind of a rough day. On the whole, I'm looking forward to getting to work tomorrow and kind of being able to get in that Zen mode more. That's one of the nice things about my job, is that I get to spend most of my day doing the thing that calms me the most. It's the thing that causes me the greatest recharge, or just being able to sit and work with numbers. A lot of the time when I'm working with kids at work, it's kind of interesting that I'll kind of guide them to solve some problems, and I'll work out a few. Especially when I'm working with older kids, I end up working out quite a few examples just to show them. We were doing logs with one kid earlier in the week, and being able to show every step and go through those multi-step problems where the math flows always puts me at ease. I'm not a big fan of word problems or applied math type stuff. It's I've always said the moment my math becomes useful, I stop caring as much. It's really, for me, it's the mental masturbation of dealing with complex numerical systems, and just the satisfaction I get from that. I don't necessarily want my math to be useful for anything. Mathematical proof a lot of times is just saying this is one of the logically consistent emergent or emergent properties of the system, or inherent properties of the system, and being able to go through those proofs and go through that logic without kind of caring what it's useful for or what it's good for. Just being able to enjoy the math for what it is. And in a lot of ways, I'm like an artist who enjoys art for the sake of it, and not necessarily for the statement that it can make. While I do enjoy kind of the Dada movement, the anti-art artistic movement of the early 1900s, I much prefer kind of the aesthetics philosophy of art for art's sake, or math for math's sake, or exploration for exploration's sake. A lot of fields that require math for being useful, I enjoy, like chemistry. I enjoy balancing redox reactions and talking about chemical reactions and products, but not in the context of usefulness, just in the context of thinking about what would happen. Being able to see the chain reaction that's going to flow, I suppose. There are some parts of my life where I'm much more concerned with usefulness. Some of the languages that I try to learn, I'm concerned with utility, but for the most part, like Russian, I kind of learn because of the utility for some of the famous Russian, German mathematicians that did some of their work in Russia or wrote in Russian. But even more so than that, it's a language I wanted to learn how to speak. and still when I keep up with it, it's because I want to learn how to speak it, not necessarily because it's going to be useful or because I'm going to be able to understand Russians if they ever invade Red Dawn style. But it is more just I want to because I want to. It's my aspiration of being kind of a polyglot is I want to because I want to. It's kind of my motivation to learn Esperanto. Esperanto isn't necessarily super useful for anything. It's no official language of any major country. But I want to learn it because I want to learn it, and it's a utterly regular language. It's almost like a language that was designed as a mathematical system instead of a language, which I very much appreciate. English being my first language, and noting how inconsistent and illogical that can be sometimes is amusing to me. But yeah, try and find something larger than yourself that you can kind of put some faith into. For some people, it's groups like Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. Some people it's like a bipolar therapy group. Some people it's going to be God. Some people it's going to be your family, your support system, your friend group, your doctor, just any power kind of greater than you when you feel like you're in a rut or that you can't deal with a situation. Try and find kind of your Zen place, your quiet place, your happy place, and I think that'll do you a lot of good. I know tonight's been extra rambly. I'm kind of exhausted. And like I said, I'm getting ready to cycle, and I can always tell my thoughts become a little less coherent and a little harder to explain. My head's buzzing a little bit even right now. It's one of those things where I can feel physically the onset. And I think if you talk to a lot of people with bipolar disorder who've had it for some time, they can feel when it's starting to switch over into an episode. So if you're kind of new to this, and you're kind of new to the diagnosis, you're new to the community, start keeping like a journal of when you cycle and your feelings beforehand and after. Start to recognize your triggers and your foreshocks, I guess, if we're going to use like earthquake terminology, the preceding events, the antecedent events, so that you can know when to prepare. Like I do. I know this week early is going to be tough, so I'm going to try and maximize the exercise, sleep. I have some as needed medication that I'm going to take just to make sure that I can kind of power through this. I think next video I'm going to talk about the difficulty getting medicated when you no longer have insurance and kind of the insurance gap. I don't want to turn this political by any means. I'm not going to blame it on anybody. But I'm going to talk about the reality of the situation, the situation when you don't have insurance, for whatever reason, and some of the resources that I've found and others have found and told me, to help you get your treatment and your medication. So, hopefully you guys have a good night and have a good rest of your weekend. I'll probably make another video tomorrow. Peace.